Long before European explorers set foot on North American soil, the continent thrived with a vast and intricate tapestry of Native American cultures. Historians estimate that over 300 distinct languages were spoken among the many tribes that flourished across the land. This remarkable linguistic diversity, greater than that of modern Europe, reflects the immense cultural and social complexity of Native American societies. Each tribe was unique, possessing its own language, traditions, and governance structures, contributing to a rich and multifaceted civilization that spanned diverse geographic regions. Some communities were deeply rooted in cooperation and communal harmony, while others upheld warrior traditions to safeguard their territories and people. Yet, despite these differences, all indigenous nations shared a profound reverence for the land, which was central to their way of life. The extraordinary diversity among Native American tribes was shaped by the vast and varied landscapes they inhabited. From the frozen tundras of the north to the fertile river valleys of the southeast, Native peoples developed highly adaptive ways of life suited to their specific environments. Some were nomadic hunter-gatherers, while others cultivated complex agricultural societies. Their survival strategies were not merely practical. They were deeply interwoven with spirituality, philosophy, and communal values. Many tribes saw themselves as stewards of the land, entrusted with the responsibility of preserving its resources for future generations. Theories on the origins of Native Americans in North America have long been a subject of scholarly exploration, leading to several theories. The most widely accepted is the Bering Land Bridge theory, which suggests that thousands of years ago, a vast land corridor connected Asia to North America. During the last ice age, lower sea levels exposed this bridge, allowing nomadic hunter-gatherers to migrate into the New World, following large herds of animals. As the ice age ended and sea levels rose, the land bridge submerged, isolating these early populations within the Americas. Over millennia, they spread southward, adapting to an astonishing range of climates and ecosystems. Despite the widespread acceptance of this theory, many Native American tribes have their own ancestral histories that differ significantly from scientific interpretations. For instance, the Mohawk people believe they have inhabited North America for over 33,000 years, far longer than conventional archaeology suggests. Archaeological evidence does indicate that humans were present in the Americas at least 15,000 years ago, predating many of the world's ancient civilizations. To put this into perspective, the Great Pyramids of Egypt are less than 5,000 years old. An alternative theory proposes that some of the earliest inhabitants may have arrived by sea, navigating from Asia or possibly even parts of Europe. This hypothesis is supported by archaeological discoveries of ancient seafaring cultures along the coasts of North and South America, suggesting that multiple migration routes contributed to the peopling of the continent. Life across diverse landscapes, Native American life, was profoundly shaped by the environments in which different tribes settled. Those living in close proximity often shared cultural practices due to similar ecological conditions, while those separated by vast distances developed distinct ways of life. Many envision Native Americans as primarily residing in woodlands or on the Great Plains, but indigenous societies thrived in nearly every climate across the continent, from the icy Arctic to the tropical rainforests of Central America. Each region posed unique challenges, yet Native peoples demonstrated extraordinary ingenuity in adapting to their surroundings, forming a deep and sustainable relationship with the natural world. Arctic and subarctic regions in the Arctic, tribes such as the Inuit developed extraordinary resilience to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. Their resourcefulness, including the construction of igloos, advanced hunting techniques, and mastery of marine navigation, allowed them to thrive despite extreme cold and limited vegetation. These resilient communities thrived by hunting large marine mammals such as whales, walruses, and seals, which provided essential resources for their survival. From these animals, they crafted tools, shelters, and clothing, ensuring that nothing went to waste. Beyond mere survival, they also expressed their cultural identity through intricate carvings made from walrus tusks and bones. These art pieces, passed down through generations, were not only practical but also held deep aesthetic and spiritual significance. They reflected a profound respect for the animals that sustained them and an intimate connection to the land that shaped their way of life. Subarctic region. Survival and sustainability, while slightly less harsh than the Arctic, the subarctic posed its own formidable challenges. Tribes such as the Cree and Ojibwe relied primarily on hunting and gathering, with some engaging in small-scale agriculture during the brief summer months. To navigate the snow-covered terrain, they developed sleds and snowshoes, which allowed for efficient movement across vast distances. Their homes were semi-permanent structures, built to endure frigid winters while still allowing for seasonal migration. These societies embraced a nomadic lifestyle, following the migratory patterns of vital animals such as caribou, which provided them with food, hides, and materials for tools. Their way of life exemplified remarkable resilience and resourcefulness, embodying a philosophy of sustainability long before it became a modern concept. Northeastern woodlands. Agriculture and early democracy in the northeastern woodlands. Tribes such as those of the Iroquois Confederacy established primarily settled communities. They cultivated the Three Sisters crops, corn, beans, and squash, which complemented each other in growth and provided a well-balanced diet. Beyond agriculture, these tribes developed sophisticated governance systems, with some forming early democratic structures. The Iroquois Confederacy, for example, was a powerful alliance of multiple tribes governed by a council-based system that emphasized collective decision-making. This political structure influenced later democratic principles, including aspects of the U.S. Constitution. The northeastern tribes were also skilled artisans, crafting pottery, weapons, and tools, while engaging in expansive trade networks that connected them with other indigenous groups across the continent. Southeastern tribes. Structured societies and cultural traditions. The tribes of the southeastern region, such as the Cherokee and Creek, developed highly organized societies with complex social hierarchies, often resembling European governance structures. Their communities were predominantly agriculture-based, cultivating crops like corn, beans, squash, sunflowers, and tobacco. The region's temperate climate allowed for year-round farming, enabling the development of structured villages with well-defined social roles and intricate ceremonial traditions. One of the most significant cultural events among southeastern tribes was the Green Corn Festival, an annual celebration of the harvest marked by feasting, dancing, and gratitude rituals. These festivals reinforced communal unity, underscoring the tribe's deep connection to the land and their emphasis on balance, harmony, and social cohesion. The Great Plains. The Buffalo Hunters. The Great Plains, a vast expanse of rolling grasslands, was home to nomadic buffalo hunting tribes, including the Sioux and Cheyenne. These tribes followed the massive herds of American bison, which provided them with food, clothing, shelter, and tools. Their entire way of life was shaped by the migration patterns of these animals, leading them to develop highly mobile lifestyles centered around horseback riding and teepees, which were easily assembled and dismantled for travel. The Plains tribes were formidable warriors and skilled strategists, often engaging in intertribal alliances and conflicts to protect their resources. Their rich oral traditions, spiritual ceremonies, and intricate beadwork and feathered regalia reflected their deep cultural heritage, celebrating their symbiotic relationship with the land and the animals that sustained them. Native American tribes of the Great Plains held the buffalo in sacred regard, utilizing every part of the animal to sustain their way of life. Bones were crafted into tools, hides were fashioned into durable shelter, and sinew was used for bowstrings and thread. This no-waste philosophy ensured both sustainability and abundance, allowing these tribes to thrive in their vast, open landscapes. To accommodate their nomadic lifestyle, they developed the teepee, a lightweight, easily transportable dwelling that could be swiftly assembled and dismantled as they followed the seasonal migrations of buffalo herds. The Plains tribes also maintained trade and cultural exchanges with Plateau tribes to the west, fostering alliances and sharing vital resources. Plateau and Great Basin tribes. Survival in contrasting landscapes. The Plateau region, centered around the Columbia River, was a land of fertile valleys and abundant waterways, making it an ideal setting for hunting and fishing. The tribes here lived in small, close-knit communities and were renowned for their weaponry skills, excelling in the use of bows, spears, and lassos. Salmon, the lifeblood of the region, was more than just a staple food. It symbolized prosperity and renewal, playing a crucial role in both diet and spiritual traditions. In contrast, the Great Basin tribes, such as the Shoshone, navigated an arid and unforgiving desert environment. Their survival depended on an intimate knowledge of the land, as they foraged for seeds, roots, and small game, making the most of the scarce resources available. Unlike many other regions, women in Great Basin societies held equal status, playing vital roles in decision-making, food gathering, and community leadership. Their resourcefulness is a testament to their profound ecological wisdom and adaptability in one of the continent's most challenging landscapes. Southwestern tribes, desert civilizations, and nomadic warriors in the Southwest. Indigenous cultures range from settled, agricultural societies to nomadic warrior bands. The Pueblo peoples built permanent, multi-story dwellings from stone and adobe, known as pueblos, which were carefully designed to withstand the desert's extreme temperatures. These farming-based communities cultivated crops such as corn, beans, and squash and practiced elaborate ceremonial rituals, emphasizing communal harmony, spirituality, and reverence for the land. In contrast, the Apache led a nomadic existence, moving across the desert in search of resources. To supplement their food supply, they sometimes raided neighboring settlements, leading to periodic conflicts with settled tribes. Despite these tensions, each group developed a way of life that was intricately adapted to the harsh desert environment, demonstrating remarkable resilience and strategic acumen. California and Northwest tribes, wealth, trade, and ceremonial traditions. California was one of the most densely populated regions, home to over 100 distinct tribes, including the Chumash and Miwok. These groups lived in small, family-oriented villages, taking advantage of the region's abundant natural resources. Their diet consisted of fish, acorns, seeds, and berries, and their societies were largely peaceful, fostering strong trade networks and shared cultural traditions. Further north, the tribes of the Pacific Northwest, such as the Tlingit and Haida, established highly structured societies with rigid social hierarchies. They built large, permanent villages with cedar longhouses and expressed their status through intricate totem poles, which recorded family histories, tribal legends, and spiritual beliefs. One of the most significant cultural traditions in this region was the potlatch ceremony, a grand celebration held to commemorate major life events, during which leaders demonstrated their wealth and generosity by distributing valuable gifts to guests, reinforcing social bonds and prestige. Language, art, and spirituality. A shared cultural legacy despite their vast diversity. Native American tribes shared common cultural threads, particularly in language, art, and spiritual beliefs. While there were hundreds of distinct languages, many were part of larger linguistic families, such as the Iroquoian languages spoken by the Mohawk and Seneca. Multilingualism was common, especially among tribes engaged in extensive trade or those living near diverse linguistic groups. For Native Americans, language was more than a tool for communication. It was a connection to identity, heritage, and spirituality. Art, too, played an integral role in both daily life and sacred practices. Whether through pottery, beadwork, or intricate carvings, artistic expression was deeply woven into the fabric of indigenous cultures. Many artworks were imbued with spiritual significance, serving as a link between the creator, their ancestors, and the natural world. In the Northwest, totem poles were not merely decorative structures. They served as historical records, honoring lineage and maintaining a tribe's connection to its past. Spirituality and connection to nature. Native American spirituality was deeply intertwined with the natural world, fostering a worldview in which humans, animals, and the earth itself were all part of an interconnected existence. Unlike organized religions with fixed doctrines, indigenous belief systems were fluid and holistic, embedded in every aspect of daily life. Native peoples saw themselves as guardians of the land, entrusted with the responsibility of maintaining harmony and balance. Festivals, rituals, and ceremonies reflected this sacred bond with nature. Events such as the Green Corn Festival celebrated the harvest, while vision quests were deeply personal spiritual journeys undertaken to seek guidance and enlightenment. These ceremonies were far from simple nature worship. They represented a sophisticated understanding of ecological balance, sustainability, and the cycles of life. Resilience through change. The endurance of native cultures. The arrival of European explorers in the 15th century marked a turning point in Native American history, bringing unprecedented challenges. The spread of foreign diseases, violent conflicts, and forced displacements devastated indigenous populations. In the United States, government policies sought to assimilate or remove native peoples from their ancestral lands, eroding traditional ways of life. Yet, even in the face of these profound hardships, Native American communities endured, adapted, and preserved their cultural heritage. Today, indigenous peoples across North America continue to revitalize their languages, artistic traditions, and spiritual practices, ensuring that their ancestral knowledge is not lost. Modern Native American communities remain stewards of their rich heritage, embodying resilience, wisdom, and an enduring connection to the earth that continues to inspire global conversations about sustainability, environmental stewardship, and cultural identity.